Welcome back to Irish Illustrated's In the Film Room. I'm Tim Priester today to talk about 6'5", 212-pound wide receiver prospect Chase Claypool from Abbotsford, British Columbia in Canada. A recent verbal commitment to the University of Notre Dame at the opening in Oregon. Not a huge surprise, although Oregon certainly was in the battle to the end. The Irish win over the Ducks, Washington, Michigan, and Rutgers. And Notre Dame gets a really unique athlete football player for verbal commitment, number 12, I believe that is, for the Fighting Irish. This is a long, athletic kid with speed that you don't normally see in a frame of his size. In the written report that you have attached to this, I make the comparison to Michael Floyd in that he kind of had that desperate bull in a china shop running gait. Claypool's is a little bit smoother than that, and he clearly he's faster than Michael Floyd, but not nearly as advanced as a wide receiver. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I mean, just looking at this kid's skill set, he has natural ball skills. He has the ability to be an inside-outside receiver. Again, a kid that's 6'5", you don't normally see those free and easy hips. And his ability to get out of jams and run through traffic. Normally that's associated with somebody with a much smaller frame, but he has the agility to make the twisting and turning catches. And then the bonus is that he's really a very physical football player, which lends itself to versatility. You know, Oregon liked him as an outside linebacker, and I can see why. He's a big physical kid. Again, that forward lean that he uses coming off the line of scrimmage as a wide receiver, he has the same thing defensively, and he just plows through ball carriers and pass receivers. Got a very natural inclination to flow to the football. And I even wonder, when you look at that frame, you know, long term, if things didn't work out at wide receiver for Notre Dame, is this a kid that you could slap 30 pounds on, have him put a hand on the ground, and have him come off the edge, because that stride is so beautiful. You know he can cover a lot of ground coming off the edge. But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here. I'm just trying to point out how versatile of a football player this is, and he adds that degree of physicality and just a natural inclination to compete and seek contact, which I don't know that you can teach that. I think that's more something that he was born with. So an exciting prospect. You know, he comes from Canada. I'm stereotyping a little bit, but, man, when you look at the film, there aren't a lot of big football players on the field with him. So he has benefited from the competition in the Canadian level, more of a man among boys. He shows some impatience awaiting the snap, sometimes at receiver, and leans into the snap count and jumps the gun a little bit. And he really could do a better job, a more consistent job, I should say, of maximizing his length. He doesn't always high point passes, and on the next level, those are going to be knocked away by a quality defensive back. More of a jump ball guy right now on offense than a precise route runner, but considering how many tools are in this kid's toolbox, it's no wonder that Scout lists him as a 4-star player. I would say, you know, he's probably a 3-star product right now against quality competition, but, man, he has great upside here. And again, I think on both sides of the football if it came down to it. But looking at him as a receiver right now, he joins Kevin Stefferson as one of Notre Dame's wide receiver prospects. Javon McKinley, Notre Dame definitely heavily involved with him. Damian Alloway, also Notre Dame in good shape with both of those guys. Those are probably the two most likely if we were to choose some receivers that would end up at Notre Dame in addition to Stefferson and Claypool. Those would probably be the most likely choices. But lots happening at the opening. Irish Illustrated has 4 of our people there, led by Pete Sampson and the gang, and we will have more recruiting news if something pops up at the opening. But right now we're just talking about Chase Claypool, a very interesting, well-rounded, versatile prospect, a kid that could end up on both sides of the football long term. That's 6'5", 212-pound Chase Claypool from Abbotsford, British Columbia.